Welcome to another episode of the Hyper Growth Zone podcast. My name is Alex Morgan, and I'm a master trainer of hypnosis and NLP. And let's introduce what we're going to be talking about today, and that's the power of an inner circle. So what does that mean? That means that you're consistently surrounded by the right people. So a couple of years ago, I started working with some people that I had already known. Now, this is where a lot of inner circle connections might be. So now that I'm working with these guys, they're in my inner circle. We meet weekly. You have your phone numbers. You can text each other. You're helping each other on various aspects of your reality. You're pushing each other to do things. I just spoke to one of them last night, and he said, Alex, I heard some great feedback about you. And I was like, oh, that's cool. What was it? He said, oh, people are just really liking working with you. And I was like, oh, thanks so much. I was going to ask about feedback because there was an event. And he said, yeah, because I was pushing you. And I thought, okay, cool. So because he pushed me, this allowed me to also really change how I thought about certain things and how I worked with people and how people are getting results. So you can make an inner circle a lot of times with people that you may already know. So by the end of this episode, you're going to know how to identify, approach, build your own powerful inner circle. And maybe it is from people you already know, and maybe it's some people in the inner circle that you don't know. I always suggest building out a inner circle that's about 5 different people as a good start. That's like the inner circle. Then you have the broad network. So here we're just going to talk about the inner circle. So these are people that you're going to be talking to on a daily basis, or at least every week. You have each other's phone numbers, you reach out, you see each other, you're in common circles. These are people that you really count on to share opportunities and do this. I was just speaking to someone else, and they were telling me, well, what should I focus on in my inner circle? I said, well, for you, because of what you mentioned, think about what value you want to provide to people and what value you want to receive to others. Have some people in there that are going to motivate you, push you, things like this. So your inner circle really matters. So why does this matter? Well, there's a common saying online. I'm sure you've heard it. And if you haven't, that's fine. A lot of people have heard it. The show me your friends and I'll show you your future principle. So you're like the people you are hanging around, the 5 people you're hanging around. If you're hanging around 5 people who are partying, what's going to happen? Maybe you're partying every weekend. If you're around 5 people who have families, they're focused on their families and their businesses, chances are that's going to influence you a certain amount if you don't have a family yet or you don't have a business yet. You're probably going to be curious about how these people are balancing everything, how they're doing it. So your inner circle really matters. This is going to be one of the things that creates your ideal reality. Your environment matters that much. And you can take focused action to get towards that environment by listening to this. So your circle, it's going to influence the way you think. It's going to influence your income. It's going to influence your motivation. It's also going to influence the opportunities that you're around, the possibilities that are around you. So you need to be really intentional about this, because I was speaking to someone, they're like, well, where do I start? I'm like, well, think about what you want. What's something that you want? So if you think about that thing you want, do you know big people that are in that space? Or is anyone in your current inner circle that could help you get there? If the answer is no to the second question, if you don't have anyone in your inner circle that could help you get there, it's probably time to update, upgrade, change, shuffle around your inner circle. If you're not providing value to people, they're not providing value to you, or if they're not helping you get what you want. So if the answer was no to that question, it's probably time to upgrade your inner circle. And you want to have a nice design aspect to this. You want to be intentional about it. You don't just want to meet people and be like, oh yeah, this person's great. What I tell people is, if you're more intentional about it and you're really clear on what you want, you're going to naturally notice around you that you're meeting a lot of people that also have what you want, because you're thinking about it all the time. So your mind's going to notice it around you. It's like when you buy a new car and you buy that type of car and you see it everywhere around you. Your mind's going to start to notice certain people that deserve to be in your inner circle. So your inner circle really matters. It can really determine your future. So the people that I mentioned earlier, these people are giving me lots of opportunities to work with lots of incredible people. So for me, this is really fun. I'm really enjoying it. And I'm giving them value by helping their clients, helping their business, all of this. So we're also benefiting from each other. So your inner circle really matters. Now, we want to think about different people to include, and I touched on this briefly already. This is up to you. I would start with 5 people, like I said. So think about 5 people, and like I said, you may know them already, you may not. You may have to research who these people are. Where do I find them? How do I get in touch with them? Like I said, I knew these people before I did a training with them. The connection, I didn't necessarily keep it going, and then I saw on Facebook they were offering an opportunity. And because I had been in their circle before, there was already some trust there. So it was natural for them to offer other opportunities for me. So the first thing is value creators. So you want to think about people you can collaborate with to make money, or build projects, or build businesses, sell businesses, create value. The best thing that we can do in any relationship is to create value for other people, because what we give, we're going to end up receiving. So if we give someone so much value, they're probably naturally going to want to give us value back. So you want to have some value creators in there, people that you can create value for, and people that are going to create value for you. I would also consider people who are really motivating, people who are further along than what you're currently doing right now. So let's say that you have a business and someone is in a similar business, however, they're making 10 times the revenue as you. You can use this person to push you, challenge you. This person is not going to let you settle. The whole idea of this, and why I suggest people do this as well, is it pushes them. It pushes you, because when's the last time you sat down and deliberately built your inner circle? Even if you have a really good inner circle right now, I'm sure there's a way that you haven't considered yet that you can easily upgrade it a bit more. So the third one is mentors, guides. So more experienced friends or people in business that you know who are going to not only help you avoid mistakes. I look at mentors in a more modern way. They're not just teaching you things. This kind of sounds boring. Mentors are there to also connect you with others, guide you in a way that they're going to show you opportunities. And they're going to show you opportunities with a certain level of expertise where you're going to be able to get the result fast, because they've already failed. They've already made the mistake. They've already learned from it. So they're going to show you an opportunity and be like, this is exactly how you should tackle the opportunity. So mentors, in a more modern term, instead of, hey, this is my mentor, I meet with them once a week, they teach me stuff. No, this person's also going to open opportunities for you, because we want to think really big with this whole thing. And then who else can be in your inner circle? Can also be true friends. People you can really just do anything with. You can go on vacation with. You're going to want to have them on as friends for specific reasons as well. Because you can do stuff with them, you trust them, and you can also share your life with them within business and outside of business. So I mentioned an example earlier of, if you were hanging around people with families and business. So if that's something you want to do, make friends with those people. Bring them into your inner circle. If you want to have a family and you want to have a really good relationship, you probably don't want to be hanging around a bunch of people that are partying every weekend. So fit some people into more than one of these categories: the value creators, the motivators, the mentors, the guides, and the true friends. So think of 5 people and have a couple categories. If you're really into business, go with value creators, mentors, guides. If you're looking to build a really good lifestyle, you still want someone to motivate you and push you, and you still want really good friends, and I would still have a value creator in there, because why not? You're only going to benefit. So go into this thinking you may know these people or you may not. And if you don't know them, then you can research online. Who are these people? Because that's at least giving your mind a clear picture that it didn't have before. So research. Who are these people? So for example, since I help people create success in their mind, we change their programming. What I do, I'm a mental reprogrammer. So if I wanted to get really, really, really good at this and learn stuff that I hadn't known before, I'd probably want to go to the people who know a lot more than me. So this would be a mentor or guide for me. And let's say that I wanted to grow a part of my business that I haven't grown yet. I would probably want to find some sort of value creator, someone who could create value for my business, and I could also create value for them. Maybe they need some mental reprogramming, for example. So think of your situation, think of who you need to know, and research this if you don't know them. It's okay to not know them already. So the other thing is really how you find the right people. So the first thing that you probably want to do is look at your current inner circle. Who lifts you up? Who motivates you? Do you want them to stay? And are there other people who are draining your energy? Now, I'm not saying you just cut these people out of your life. Maybe they're just not in your inner circle anymore. Maybe you start to spend more time with other people who deserve to be in your inner circle for the reasons that I already mentioned. I would also take a strategic look at this. Look for alignment in values, not just thinking, this person has so much success, I have to be around them. What if they're not a great person? So align yourself with people that you actually want to spend time with, because let's say you're going to have a mastermind, you and your inner circle. Are these people that you can spend 2, 3, 4 days with and put your heads together and come up with great ideas and share everything? You have to trust this person. You're going to be sharing different things with this person. So be strategic. Align in your values. If integrity is a huge value for you and trust is a huge value for you, and you don't feel like you can trust this person, probably not a good idea to have them in your inner circle. If abundance is a really important value for you, or time freedom, financial freedom, these are really important to you, and someone has all these limiting beliefs around abundance and money, probably not the best person to have in your inner circle. So consider, like I said, it matters how these people think, because they're going to influence your thinking, your motivation, your income, the opportunities around you, the possibilities around you. So think of all these different things. It's really important, probably more important than you thought already. And think about the places that you want to connect with these people. So events, masterminds, professional groups. Maybe you meet them by volunteering with the community, or online spaces where meaningful conversations happen. So as you think about who's going to be in your inner circle, also think about where these people hang out. Where are you going to find them? Where would people like this hang out. And have the intention in mind that you're approaching with value first. So if you don't know this person yet, think about how you can serve them, how you can serve others, not what am I going to get out of this relationship. So go in thinking that you have an opportunity for them. When I work with a lot of clients and let's say they want to raise some sort of money or something, it's not about just getting the money from the other person. I said, you might come across a person that has so much money and they're not utilizing that capital in a way that's benefiting them. So you, because you are working on this opportunity and you can see the vision and you're focused on it, you actually have the opportunity for that other person to make a huge return that they haven't even considered yet because they haven't heard about your opportunity. So approach it in a way that you're serving others, because then you're going to get what you want. It makes it easier to get what you want. So offer help, offer insights, or even talk about other people you know, introductions you can make to them before asking for anything, especially if you don't know the person. Even the people you know that may be a good idea to have in your inner circle, you still want to give them value and serve them. Give and receive. What you give is what you receive. And you want to think that you're going to have this circle going strong. So the whole point of having these people in your inner circle is you can hold each other accountable. You're going to check in. You're going to have dinner. You're going to spend time with these people. And to keep it going strong, you're going to give as much or more than you take. So think about all the things that you have to give, and you're going to end up receiving so much more because people are naturally going to want to do that. And you want to have the hyper-growth mindset going into this. You're going to challenge each other. You're going to push each other. You're going to stretch each other. You're going to feel comfortable to a certain level around these people. However, you're going to create a certain level of discomfort where you're going to push each other to do something even more than you've ever done before. And then you have boundaries to keep this thing strong. So you're going to know when someone no longer aligns with your vision, and then it's probably not a good idea to have them in your inner circle anymore. So just an activity for you to put this into action, because focused action is really what's going to get you what you want, as long as you don't have any resistance in the way. Think about the 5 people you spend the most time with. Identify categories that they fall into: the value creators, the motivators, the mentors, the guides, and the friends. So do that. And then think about who you can add. What's an additional intentional connection that you can add right away? And decide one way you're going to bring value to your circle this week. So think about the 5 people you spend time with, what categories they fall into, and then think about what categories you want to add. Think about who you want to add, and decide what value you're going to bring to people this week. So it's really important to have a intentionally put together inner circle, because your circle, it does create your future. So stay intentional. Do this in a certain way to where you can use the categories, you can do your research. Think, who's the people that I don't know yet that are going to help me get everything I want, because I can also provide huge amounts of value to them. That's what you really want to consider. So if you enjoyed this episode, definitely share this with someone you think that's going to be really interested in this. And you can also reach out to me, share your stories, share all the victories you had with this, or if you're having any challenges with it as well, reach out. I love talking about this stuff. That's why I do have the podcast. I truly love to help people serve others, to help them get what they want. That's the whole idea here. Wherever you're listening, go ahead and rate the podcast, give some honest feedback. I do want to say a lot of people have been sharing the episodes, so I do have more and more listeners, so I really do appreciate it. So if you're thinking about an episode, definitely do it. Thanks so much for listening, and I hope to see you on the next episode.